We were founded with one purpose, and that's to help our clients lead. So we are a recruitment agency that is focused and works exclusively with the startup and small business community all throughout North America. So we are home based and headquartered here in Toronto, but we also expanded into New York in 2018. And that was a very exciting goal for us to accomplish. We've had the opportunity to work with companies, everything from a seed round organization, people who've just received their first round of investment, looking to make their very first hire, all the way to pre-IPO companies, even publicly traded startups and high growth companies. We get to help build some of the most impressive companies of our generation, and we work in every aspect and facet of a startup, from hiring their first material impact leader, like a C-level or a VP executive, all the way to helping build entire sales teams or development teams or marketing teams, whatever it may be. So we are essentially a one-stop shop for startups across North America. I think the entire small business community would love to have a prescription or a magic formula to understanding better. I think we're all faced with a lot of different challenges depending on what the business is. As we all know, and we're learning that there are different phases to reopening. And I think that will be really dependent on how you do it. But I think the one thing that I've learned and that we started to have conversations with our clients about is what's in the best interest of your people. And I think that that's been something that we've all, as small business owners, have walked away realizing that it's categorically clear that your business, needs to be, and the only way forward is a people-first organization. So communicating and then over-communicating with your team and understanding what makes them feel safe, what their needs are, what their requirements are, is the first and foremost thing that needs to be decided. And people isn't just defined by people who work for you, it's also about understanding your clients and understanding what they're going to need from you moving forward and how they want to be serviced and the challenges that they're facing. So my recommendation and what I've experienced is understanding your people first and understanding what their requirements are and what their thoughts are and what their ideas are also really important. And then really understanding what your clients need and what they're looking for. Asking a lot of questions, having a lot of conversations, I think is the most important, all while keeping in mind that we are regulated in terms of what phases we fall into and what the health professionals and the government determine as how we do this. The only way forward and the only normal that's in front of us is ensuring that you are and will continue to operate and change towards being a people-first organization. I think that it's something that's so clear to everyone, whether you're a small business or not. And there's things that we can all do to be a people-first organization. And a lot of that has to do with, like I mentioned earlier, having these conversations with your people and really asking tough questions regarding their safety and their needs. I think that looking for opportunity is something that, as small business owners, we've all had to look inward and outward at the same time. What are the opportunities that I, as a leader and as an entrepreneur, can uncover about myself and about the business? Are we leaving things off, on the table that, we could be servicing, or that we could be changing, or that, could be helping our customers? And then looking outward as well and looking for and identifying new opportunities, because the new normal, or the new weird, as you had mentioned, will forever be something that we should look at as an opportunity. Like, what has it taught us? What did it challenge us to do or to become? So I think there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of tough questions and conversations that need to be had. The first challenge was understanding what your business was capable of short term in terms of finances. How fiscally sound are you? Are your operations currently in tune with what is required of you? Is your team set up efficiently and appropriately to be virtual and remote? So I think it was taking it one step at a time. Are all those things taken care of? Yes or no? What changes do I have to make? And then once you've decided or made the decisions that are needed to be made to ensure the safety of your business and the safety of your people, the safety of your finances, and so on, what can you now do as a business to make sure that you can continue to grow it? What is your business development strategy going to be? What financing have you secured? And what does your team need and what do your clients need from you? Because the business needs to grow. There's something about making sure that you're operationally sound to ride the wave, or financially, in a safe place to ride up the wave, so to speak. But what have you done, and what do you need to do to now actually grow the business again? Because that's the only way forward. I'll admit, as a leader, that I was really unaware of what was ahead. And I think a lot of us were. I think a lot of us weren't. I think a lot of us knew that this was going to be something that fundamentally changed who we were and how we were going to operate. I myself wasn't one of those people. I really thought that we would all be back together, everything would be fine in a couple of weeks, and that this was going to be a very short-term change or disruption to our business. And so I think that once I realized that wasn't the case, 2 or 3 weeks in, those were really hard times, because I had to make a lot of tough decisions, as we all did, regarding the business, but also personally and mentally, and and then all of a sudden I had to put all that aside and think about how my team was doing. So the first couple of weeks were a bit of a honeymoon phase. And then the 2 weeks following that were really dark days, like really hard. And then once we were able to come through it and realize, okay, this isn't short term, we're all okay. Now, how do we become better? So some of the things that we've done as a team is, we're doing the typical Zoom meetings, the Zoom parties. But one thing that I've really decided to subscribe to as a leader is giving my team space. And I think that has really helped build their confidence and really helped, their mental health. Like, they don't need a micromanager. They never did. So why would I ever do that now? And so I had to really ensure that they felt trusted, they felt safe, and that I wasn't going to be micromanaging them. So I allowed them to be self-expressed and tell me what they needed from me to be mentally well and to be confident and to have what they needed to succeed. This time has taught everyone that financing and smart financing couldn't be more important than it is now. And financing, means different things to different people and to different businesses, whether it's equity, debt, investment, so on and so forth. So I think that there's a lot of studies and a lot of statistics and a lot of data to prove that it's been more challenging for females. There's a lot of things internally and externally that make that challenging. So my advice to female entrepreneurs is that this is the time, and to push yourself and to push the status quo and to ask for what you need and to not be afraid to do so, because this is the time to not allow any setbacks regarding finances and what's available to you. So don't take no for an answer, and really push through any challenges that you're facing regarding financing.